A special awareness on Operation YUKTHIYA for community police officers of 17 police stations in the Nugegoda Police Division was held. President's Senior Advisor on National Security Sagala Ratnayaka, Minister of Public Security Tiran and Acting IGP Deshabandu Thenakun attended the program.
දැන් හැමදාම පොලිසියට හිතවත් ඕගොල්ලෝ තුල වුණත් තියෙන කතාවක් තමයි කුඩු අල්ලනවා කියලා කිව්වට හාල් මැස්ස තමයි අල්ලන්නේ.
Most of you are under the impression that the police are arresting the small-scale dealers instead of the large-scale drug traffickers. That is true. When the police step out to conduct the operations, there are people possessing their stocks of drugs about 20 to 40 milligrams. We can't just ignore them. When we arrest the small-scale dealers, we will get a hold of those behind the mega dealings. Drugs and the underworld aren't two things, it is one. If you take a look at the statistics during the last week and the week before, the crime rate in this country has dropped significantly. When we eliminate drug trafficking in the next 6 months, the crime rate of this country will go down by 50%. I will assure that when a data system of all the underworld criminals was established, we were able to identify 1,091 underworld members across the country. They commit crimes and flee the country in a matter of hours. For the first time in history, we will start arresting criminals in the airport from January next year. Around 135 criminals who are in prisons across the country conduct criminal activities while they are in prison. We are going to install an intelligence unit in all those prisons to control the criminal activities and to reduce these criminal activities using mobile phones. If the criminals take guns into their hands to harm the civilians and the police of this country, the special task force will take action to handle them.
අපරාධකරුවන් ලෑස්ති වුණොත් එහෙම පොලිසියට හරි සාමාන්‍ය ජනතාවට හරි අවිවසවන්න ඒට අවශ්‍ය පිළිතුර විශේෂ කාර්ය බලකායෙන් ලැබේ.
මේක තමයි නීතිය පුද්ගලික ආරක්ෂාවේ ආයතනය යටතේ දඬු සංග්‍රහය තියෙනවා.
This is the law. The penal code ensures the right to self-defense. We cannot allow the people to shoot at people, scare people, threaten people, to engage in drug trafficking, to take ransom and to get involved in underworld activities. According to the law, a person can be given death sentence for possessing 5 grams of heroin. The strength and the power the Sri Lanka police needs will be given by the special task force. This operation will not stop. The operation will continue until we wipe out drug trafficking and all underworld activities in Sri Lanka.
ගෙන යාමට මෙම මෙහෙයුම ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා.
ගෑස් හිඟයක් තිබ්බා, පෝලිං වල හිටියා, තෙල් හිඟයක් තිබ්බා, බේත් හිඟයක් තිබ්බා, රැකියාවක් තිබ්බේ නැහැ.
There was no employment opportunities. The country was collapsed. We didn't have money because our foreign reserves went down to zero, and in a situation like that was when President Ranil Wickremesinghe took the responsibility of this country. When he took over office, law and order had also collapsed. The people of this country didn't know what to do. They took to the streets to protest, and it ended up being an illegal struggle with violent actions which resulted in the collapse of the law and order of this country. During 1 or 2 days, the law and order of the country was established, and during the next 2 weeks, there were no queues. As a country, there were questions we need to solve about how we should operate the government, how we should work, and how some laws should be prepared. Everybody expected a country without corruption and for foreign countries to work with us. We did all of that. We couldn't overturn the economy of this country if President Ranil Wickremesinghe wasn't here. We aren't saying that. When we travel to other countries, the leaders of those countries tell that they didn't expect our country will overcome from economic downturns, because it usually takes 10 years to overturn an economy of a country. They asked the president how he did that. That's why the president of France visited our president on his way to another country. State leaders of other countries invite our president to share his ideas on how he revived the economy of Sri Lanka.
ඒවා අපිව දැනුවත් කරන්න එන්න කියලා ආරාධනා කරනවා.
එක පැත්තකින් මත්ද්‍රව්‍ය උදුර හා පාතාලය ක්‍රියාකාරකම් වැඩි වුණේ මේ අරගලය හින්දා.
The Argalaya was a reason for the increase of crimes and drug trafficking activities in Sri Lanka. For about a year, their primary duty of the police was to stop protests around the country. The police did not have any time to overlook crimes and other activities. We decided to arrest these drug dealers. During the past week, they have arrested around 1,000 suspects involved in drug trafficking. Some religious leaders and lawyers say that this is a show for the media. There are people trying to demotivate us by saying that it is a show. There are people who have connections with the criminals involved in drug trafficking and other underworld activities. They are upset about what we do, and that's why they attack me and the IGP in press conferences. They think that we will then take a step back. It will not happen. I clearly say that despite the obstacles and the threats, we will not call this off. I have already received death threats that I will only live to see 7 more poor days. Until I am subject minister, I will not let anyone save drug dealers and the members of the underworld. No matter what they say, we will not stop it.
මොන කතා කිව්වත් අපි මේක නවත්තන්නේ. අපි දිගටම කරගෙන යනවා.
The group inspected multiple items seized by the police during the operations.